Hey, when we deploy, it ain't to the fucking tropics. Been to Iraq twice. The average temperature is 100 degrees. In the summer, it gets up to 130. Now imagine being in a fucking Humvee with no AC. You've been driving around for 2.5 hours and you start taking contact. You're tired, you're hungry, you're hot, you're lethargic. This is why it's important to know your fucking weapon systems inside and out. It's important to know where all the shit on your gear is.
But you ain't really good. We never learned before. Why are we always stuck and running from the bullets? The bullets. We never learned before. Why are we always stuck and running from the bullets? The bullets. Just stop your crying, it's a sign of the times. We gotta get away from here. We gotta. Every now and then, come and take my hand. For every little lie you tell so you can hide will grow inside your chest. Your heart will need to rest. So come into my begitu gelap, hujan tak juga reda. Ku harus menyaksikan cintaku terenggut tak terselamatkan.
Hi, this is Eve's phone, her mother speaking. Hi, we were just wondering where Eve was, seeing though she has a shift today in about 15 minutes. She actually took 2 weeks off, which got approved. She's in major surgery at the moment. She's getting kidney removed, so I don't think she'll be coming in. Right, so she's not going to be coming in to any of her shifts this week? Well, no, she's taken 2 weeks off, which got approved. Right, okay. Well, can you please let Eve know that she needs to find someone to cover all of her shifts this week and next week, please? She shouldn't have been getting shifts anyway. She took the 2 weeks off and it was approved. It's exactly like when she calls in sick, she needs to find someone to cover it. Okay, but she's not just sick, she's actually just come out of major surgery, so I thought as managers you would take it upon yourself to see who has taken leave and who hasn't, and if you got that wrong, then you should be able to cover her shifts for her. Eve is just being very unreliable right now, and we do not tolerate that at this job. She literally has a pee bag and you want her to come in. We will replace this shift but not the others. Have a good day.
How old are you?
How old are you, kid? 11! Now, why is everyone yelling?
He's 11. Is this my son?
Story time. There was this little girl I used to know. Her name was Martha. And every day she would wait for me at the front gates of the school after school would end. She was always afraid to walk alone, so I'd walk with her, holding her hand. And after she made it home, I'd walk back to school to get picked up. Whenever we were together on those walks, she would call me husband. At the time, I didn't get it, but I went along with it. And I would call her honey, queen, wife, like my mom taught me. However, I remember one time walking with her, not knowing this would be our last time. I remember we made it to her house. She smiled. With tears in her eyes, she said, "Thank you for making my life worth living." I smiled and said, "Of course." She kissed me on the cheek and goes inside. I had come to learn later that week that my queen had terminal cancer.
It was my birthday. I was so excited to celebrate another year of living. I thought the day was going to be magical. When I tell you all of my birthdays have been trash, I just knew this one would be different. Well, I was wrong. It all started with me waking up and getting ready for class. One of my roommates made me a birthday card from scratch and left it at my bedside. That was one of the positive things that happened that day. I get a text from my GF at the time. Her, "Happy birthday my love." Says a lot of other things. Me, "Thank you so much, I love you, can't wait to see you later." Her, "Yay, so about that." Me, "What?" Typing.
One day, a girlfriend asked her boyfriend if he could live one day without her. One day without contacting her, texting her, or calling her. He accepted the challenge. The next morning, he headed to her house so excited to tell her that he had won the challenge. Her parents answered the door and told him that unfortunately she was dying of a horrible disease, only had one day to live, and she passed away this morning. But before she passed away, she had a special note just for him. The note read, "You passed the challenge. You lived one day without me. Now you have to live every single day without me."
This is why waking up late might just save your life. One day when I was in elementary school, my mom and I both overslept, which meant I wouldn't be ready in time to get on the bus. School started at 8, my bus pickup time was at 7, and it was already 6:40 or something. I was still in my PJs and hadn't even had breakfast yet. My mom decided that today we would just tell the bus driver to go on ahead and she would take me to school, which would give me plenty of time to get ready. It's 6:50, I'm in my PJs eating breakfast, and that's when we hear the bus pull up 10 minutes earlier than scheduled. My mom peeks her head out of the door into the foggy morning and waves the bus on. She closed the door and came back inside, but the bus didn't pull away. There's a knock at the door and my mom opens it to find a man in a bus driver uniform. He explains he's a substitute bus driver because the regular driver called in sick and that he's early because he wanted to get an early start on the route. My mom says she's taking me to school because we woke up late. He gets visibly upset and says he can wait a few minutes since he's already ahead of schedule. My mom says that we won't be ready in a few minutes and tells him to go on ahead. He seemed really angry about this, but turned around, got back on the bus, and left. But at 7 a.m., another bus pulls up to my house. My mom went out to talk to them and came back looking terrified.
I guarantee you will cry by the end of this story. A boy and a girl were driving home from the movies, but the boy sensed that something was wrong because of the entire day of weird silence. The girl asked him to pull over the car because she needed to talk to him. She explained to him that her feelings had changed and she needs to move on, and unfortunately, she wants to break up with him. A single tear dripped down his cheek as he reached into his pocket, handing her a small, folded note. At that moment, a drunk driver came speeding down the road, hitting their car. Unfortunately, the boy was instantly killed, but the girl did survive. After coming out of the hospital, she remembered that he handed her a note as he died. She reached into her pocket, she pulled out the note, opened it, and the note read, "Without your love, I would die."
I accidentally made to left wings.
I just came back from looking at pigs and cows, and the owner told me that pigs can't look at the sky. because of how their eyes are placed. It's so unfair. So unfair. And then cows, cows have best friends, and when their best friends leave, they get sad.
And she didn't even take any drugs. She would rain all day, couldn't wait for the sun to shine.
So as I promised yesterday, here is my story. So last Sunday, which is this picture, I got into a crazy freak accident and I was found unconscious face down in railroad tracks. I thought it was a street, but it was actually railroad tracks. And then I was taken to the hospital where I got a CT scan and a lot of x-rays to check if I had any traumatic brain injuries, check on my facial bones because of my really bad black eye. And I had a broken wrist, a chipped tooth, and just a really bad concussion. And then here is my black eye compared to this one. This is 2 days after the hospital, but every doctor I go to tells me I'm extremely lucky to be alive, and I am really grateful that I am alive and that the accident wasn't a lot worse. And thank you guys all so much.